Today we'll talk about foods to help you de-stress and boost your mood. Please welcome Melanie Ajanwachuku and Aisha Weaver.
Hello, we hope you have been following our series for the health of it, and if so, welcome back, and if not, welcome. We do hope that you'll go back to the beginning of the series and catch up. We believe it is well worth your time. Our choices of topics have come out of the expressed interest in nutrition and healthy lifestyle and how that impacts our ability to cope in this era of the coronavirus. It's great to be here today with you, Aisha, to discuss this hot topic. I know that you have some questions, and I believe our audience does too, and we hope that we're able to answer them today. So for the health of it, let's get to them.
Okay, so my first question is, what are the best foods to eat for de-stressing and balancing mood?
Okay, a very relevant question, especially now, as there's so much expression of increased experience of stress in this transition that we are in. It's good to know that what we eat can support a healthy mood and our de-stressing. It is the nutrition in foods affect the structure and the function of our brain, so our overall operations. And especially stress depletes our vitamin C reserves and our vitamin D, and also several minerals, certainly magnesium and iron. The B vitamins are also very critical, and we have an increased need for them. So there are several good strategies for healthy eating to help us cope. To begin with, we want to make sure that we have balanced intake, regular nutrition. We want to have foods that slowly release nutrients like proteins and complex carbohydrates. So we think about whole grain breads and cereals, quinoa, and brown rice. We want small, frequent meals so we can be nourished, and that would be about every 4 to 6 hours. Getting good fats in the diet are especially important. So we want to get plenty of the monounsaturated fats and the omega-3s, which help balance and regulate the damage that's done to our cells. Brain chemicals are very important in lifting our moods, and so we need the nutrients that support that, and they certainly contribute. Getting adequate protein is so important, and to support the neurotransmitters that make us feel good and help us function better. So thinking of things like soybeans and seeds and nuts and legumes, and of course chicken and beef and pork, lamb, dairy, and eggs are very helpful. Hydrate well, plenty of fluid, and besides water, drinking the teas that help us calm. Green tea and turmeric tea and chamomile tea can be most beneficial. Eating plenty of phytonutrient-rich foods, very important. So we want to reduce the oxidative stress that comes from free radicals that are a function of our stress and challenges, and also reduce nerve damage that can trigger sensitivities and irritation. Fruits and vegetables, the deep green colors of the rainbow are really important. And so the blueberries and the raspberries and boysenberries, things like tomatoes and spinach and even avocados, all very important. We want to encourage a healthy gut flora, very important. So we want to be sure to get probiotic and prebiotic foods. We want our yogurt, our kimchi, and other fermented foods. Pickles are in that group too, a little salty, but they're there. So finally, we can't forget the value of exercise. It's very important, and a good 20 minutes plus per day for mood lifting.
Sounds great. So my follow-up question is, so of those foods that you just mentioned, which would be the best for vegetarians?
You know, all of those strategies are important for vegetarians. Certainly getting the multicolored vegetables and fruits, etc., the nuts and grains and so forth. The protein choices for a vegetarian would depend upon the type of vegetarian one is. Certainly there's the lacto-ovo vegetarian, and you would be get protein from eggs and milk. Vegans don't eat any animal products, and so it's important to be knowledgeable about balancing the vegetarian proteins. We want to make sure to get adequate intake from seeds and nuts, grains and legumes, And there's also nutritional yeast and brewer's yeast, which can be most beneficial. They add a number of vitamins and are very high in protein and lower in calories. So definitely what type of vegetarian you are matters. Vegan, we think about potentially supplementing because there can be deficits, especially B12 is of concern, and also vitamin D, calcium and magnesium, and zinc, and iodine, and of course the powerful omega-3 fatty acids.
Okay, thank you for that. My last question is, because we live in the high desert and we don't have a lot of specialty stores in this area, which of the foods that you mentioned are readily available at the typical grocery store versus the specialty food stores such as BJ's Health, Sprouts, Trader Joe's, etc.?
Well, a very good question, and we appreciate the specialty stores in that they have been able to supply these things over time. But the good news now is that most major retailers are having an increased awareness of the choices that people are making and wanting to eat more nutritiously. So in many of these stores, they have specialty item sections. And so, we're very much creatures of habit. It's a good idea to go online and check and see if they have these items available. Otherwise, they're very responsive to a call. If there's a particular item you want, call into the store, ask them to bring it in. And the advantage of that is that often pricing is much less when you're shopping at a larger retailer. These stores are now carrying organic products, they're carrying locally grown products, so we really do have more options in these environments. Eating well, as we have encouraged, plenty of fresh fruits and vegetables, getting a balance of all the phytonutrient-rich foods, and including protein and healthy fats, making sure that we're getting plenty of fluid, the fluids that help us calm down, not the ones that excite us, is all very important. But the total package of lifestyle is certainly something that we want to keep in mind. We want to be sure that we have relaxing activities. We want to be sure that we have time for plenty of sleep, that we make time for plenty of sleep, and that we get our exercise in there. So mood-lifting exercise, at least 20 minutes a day, is so very important. And not to forget that maybe occasionally we'll sneak in some dark chocolate. That kind of makes us all smile and lifts our mood. So for the health of it, eat well and be the best that you can be.
Thank you so much, Melanie. I really appreciate all of your insight. It's been greatly appreciated and insightful.
Good to be with you, and thank you for the questions. We appreciate them.
All right.